Water is a significant factor in our lives. Our body consists of 70 to 80% of water. Also, approximately 70% of Earth's surface is covered with water. Water is essential for the survival of the human race. The human body needs a huge amount of water in order to survive. If we do not absorb enough water, we would have no medium for transportation in our body. Also, we would have no medium for storing nutrients in our body. The different properties of water make life on Earth possible. Let's first talk about the hydrogen bond. The hydrogen bond is a covalent bond between hydrogen and fluorine or oxygen or nitrogen. Water compounds are connected by hydrogen bonds, and these compounds consist of 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Hydrogen bonds in water is unique because the oxygen of one water molecule interacts with hydrogen of another water molecule and vice versa. A lot of important characteristics of water influence life on Earth. Water is a universal solvent. It is a universal medium where solutes can be dissolved in. This diagram illustrates how the water functions as the universal solvent. Water is composed of oxygen that grabs most of the electrons, making it partial negative, whereas the hydrogen loses its electrons to oxygen, leaving it partial positive. Oxygen's negative charge tends to attract to positively charged atoms, for example, sodium atoms from salt molecules, separating it from its counterpart, partially negatively charged chlorides. Water's such characteristic helps separating other molecules, components, making it the universal solvent. Because of these characteristics, chemical reactions are possible in our body. Every chemical reaction in our body cannot be done without water. For example, in order for our body to obtain ions or sodium chloride, we need it to first be contained in the universal solvent water. Also, the ocean is simply water, the universal solvent, with sodium chloride or salt dissolved in it. The ocean can't support life without the universal solvent water. Cohesion is another property of water. Cohesion is an attraction between like molecules. Water molecules tend to grab other molecules, and this is when cohesion occurs. Because of cohesion, water has strong surface tension. One example organism that uses cohesion is the water strider, also known as the pond skater. Water striders can walk on water because their weight and geometric shape is supported by the high surface tension of water. The next property of water is called adhesion. And contrary to cohesion, adhesion is an attraction between unlike molecules. Water tends to be attracted by different molecules. Adhesion is demonstrated in capillary action. Capillary action is the rise of water in the plant stem. Water gets absorbed by the roots and their direction of movement is towards the leaves, and that is facilitated by this capillary action. High heat capacity is the ability to hold temperature constant. When something has high heat capacity, it means that it takes a lot of time and energy to raise or lower temperature. High heat capacity is demonstrated in our lives frequently. During winter, we can feel that the seaside is warmer. This characteristic brings different pressure and encourages wind formation. It also influences our climate. Our body is also composed of water. High heat capacity makes it possible for us to have a steady body temperature. For example, when we sweat, heat evaporates with the sweat. High heat capacity keeps our body temperature unaffected by the environment around us. Without high heat capacity, whole lakes would just freeze. When water reaches the freezing point, hydrogen bonds between water molecules bind tightly together. This restricts movement and makes water solid, which is known as ice. Ice has lower density than liquids, so ice floats in water. This characteristic is extremely important for the polar region. Without low density, ice would sink in water, and water would evaporate and lose heat more rapidly. Also, life in the ocean would not be possible. Water is extremely important. It keeps our lives stable, and the human race would not be able to survive without water. Recently, we have been polluting the water around us. We should always remember how important water is and keep water clean.
Wait for me, then I'll come for you.